Do you think that the United States is going to put pressure on the EU? The EU is signed up to the ICC, unlike the United States. But do you think he's going to put pressure on the EU?
Particularly with the Trump administration coming in, I think certainly it's possible, but it would be a mistake on their part because it would be trying to both sides, the EU and the United States, face a far larger crisis in the Ukraine, and secondly, because the EU is an establishment that would turn to its courts and provoke an even greater challenge to the United States is if the European courts decide valid. So this would be an unnecessary and how can I say, not well thought out process. Thirdly, I am absolutely convinced that neither Mr. Gallant or Mr. Netanyahu will try and test the EU resolve by traveling to an EU country in the foreseeable future. So we're talking about American pressure being applied only for some reasons, and that would be not very smart at this time.
You don't think they're going to test that particular war?
I think it would be a monumental mistake.
Yeah. And Dr. Boudin, what about the EU trade policies with Israel? Could the ICC affect those? And also France, which is where you are right now and where you reside, seems to have a shifting position when it comes to these arrest warrants. Can you give us more information about that?
Well, it's not it's an interpretation. It's a shifting position. It's just a diplomatic interpretation for a while. France is playing a major part in the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, and then the Hezbollah military, etc. But for that, there is in these negotiations, there is an expression, there is a kind of promise or something like that to say that if we interpret a Rome Convention, Israel has immunity because it's not part of the convention. But I don't think it will go far. It's just a political proclamation, because if the case will become real, if Netanyahu Gallant will touch the ground, touch ground in France, for instance, and any French authorities will obey to the decision of the an arrest warrant or an order to the oblige executive, whether the French president, the French prime minister, or the French authorities in general, to take measures to do these to comply with the arrest warrant. So, human rights or the European Court of Justice, and therefore it's obvious that these will to the convention, to the Rome Convention. And therefore, it's true that, in fact, Netanyahu and Gallant will not come to France or not come to Europe in general. And this has an effect, because the effect is that the freedom of these two leaders are now in practical terms. And it has an effect. It will have an effect also on Israel as such, because the things, and this is why it's very interesting to see Israel appealing